Boy, I'll tell you what, how to keep a guest host guessing. I went and changed the bumper music on me. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Gary Hendershot, and I'm your host for the Alternative Energy Hour. We do this segment every Monday night, first hour of Charlie McGrath's Wide Awake News. And tonight, first of all, I'd like to introduce my guest host for the evening. He's a regular on my Thursday program, and he's certainly appeared with me here on the Alternative Energy Hour a number of times. Sterling Allen, how you doing tonight, sir?
Hi, Gary. Thanks for having me on.
I'll tell you what, always a pleasure to have you, Sterling, and I appreciate you coming in on short notice. But my guest for the first half hour tonight is a fellow named Sam Mason, and he is with the Tesla Science Foundation. Now, this is an organization that I'm somewhat familiar with. I'm somewhat familiar about what they're into and what their contribution is, but I don't think I'm quite as familiar with them as Sterling, so I kind of am glad Sterling was able to come in tonight to add his insight to this. Sam Mason, I think I do have you there. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's my pleasure, really. I do not have video for those of you who are watching on Justin TV, or for those of you who might be watching this after it's produced on YouTube. Sorry, I do not have video of either of my guests, but I hope you'll find the discussion interesting. Sterling, I would kind of like to turn it over to you. You ran an article on the Tesla Science Foundation, and I think you've probably got some good questions for Sam. Might get the ball rolling here for us.
Sure. We posted, 6 months ago, an announcement of a conference that they just recently held in January, 6th and 7th, I believe it was, on Nikola Tesla's anniversary of his passing at the New Yorker Hotel, which is where Nikola Tesla was residing at the time of his passing. And it was basically a commemorative type of conference. They had 2 full days of speakers, presentations. And so I'm actually very curious to know how that conference went. I don't know that that's why they wanted to come on the show tonight. Apparently they've got some other things as well, but I would hope that as part of tonight's Q&A that we can get to a little bit of a follow-up how that conference went, because I've not had really any reports on that conference. I was going to be speaking there myself, had to back out because of difficulty coming up with the cash to fly to New York City. But I did have high hopes for the conference. So that's my understanding, and maybe just briefly you could tell us how that conference went, Sam.
Well, the conference went phenomenal. Essentially, we had a number of really prevalent figures in the wireless transmission of energy field. We also had the famous Matt Inman up to present, as well as Miss Jane Alcorn. She was presented an award for all the wonderful work she's doing with setting up the Tesla Science Center. There were also relatives of Nikola Tesla there, as well as sponsors from IEEE and the Tesla Museum of Belgrade, and of course, Westinghouse and the New Yorker Hotel as well. And then also the UNISECO. They're doing some wonderful work too. And also, we're also going to be doing some more presentations as well with the conference that's coming in July. But the one that just passed this January was truly phenomenal. A really upscale, classy event, but yet at the same time, it touched home to every socioeconomic class in terms of the availability of Nikola Tesla's research and their understanding of it.
Excellent. I should mention that for this audience, I think most people have heard about that phenomenal fundraiser over, I think, at Indiegogo called Let's Build a Goddamn Tesla Museum. Raised over $1 million in less than the first week. And that was actually Jane Alcorn's baby. She's been trying to raise money for, 17 years, and then this fundraiser thing kicked in, and boom, you got the money. How's that coming?
Oh, well, the money, yes, it's certainly there. It turns out that it's truly a testament to the power of social media in today's day and age, and gathering support for, I guess, the unconventional topics that aren't really supported in mainstream media. We definitely want to give all our thanks to Mr. Henneman for his wonderful job of assisting Mrs. Alcorn in securing that property. Her work has been phenomenal with getting that all in order, and currently our friends over at Fragments of Olympus are going to be doing a movie about it, like a little internet series movie or an actual physical movie that will be in the theaters and such. I hope that it would be really awesome if they did.
The movie's going to be about what?
The Fragments of Olympus, essentially the entire campaign of rebuilding Tesla Science Center and Nikola Tesla's work being continued to this day, and very many individuals studying his work around the world and how they're bringing his work to the forefront of this energy shift paradigm.
Hey, Sterling, I hate to butt in here, but we've got about 3.5 minutes before we hit the first commercial segment. Sam, I know you've got another conference coming up in the near term. Now, yes, we'd like to hear all you can tell us about the one that you held in January, but I know that it would probably be high on your list of priorities to get the information out to the listeners about what you've got as far as an upcoming event. Okay, well, absolutely. Well, basically, as it was featured at the January conference, we're going to be discussing such topics as, of course, why Tesla matters in today's day and age, electro-therapeutic devices, wireless energy transmission, Tesla and robotics, Tesla and music that exists today, of course, wireless energy transmission to vehicles and all forms of other transportational devices, Tesla's wave machines, and as well as the we're going to go further beyond Nikola Tesla as well in terms of who in the free energy field is really prominent today, continuing Tesla's legacy. And we're going to be doing that at the July conference for the Tesla Commemorative Memorial Conference that's going to be taking place at Independence Mall in Philadelphia. And we're going to also see about hosting a joint event that's going to be taking place out in Washington. Essentially, we're going to be supporting the Million Volt March, which is dedicated to the eradication of energy suppression and free energy technology, and the promotion of free energy technologies. We're going to also be looking to raise funds for the new Tesla Science Center, as well as other free energy inventors that are really making an impact in today's field.
Is that going to be July 10th, Nikola Tesla's birthday?
Well, actually, we're going to be running the event for a few days surrounding the event. It's going to be culminating in a major ceremony that's going to be running, I believe, from the 8th to 9th, 10th. But we're going to be narrowing that down. More dates will be out shortly and such. It depends on how much momentum this movement gathers.
Tell people where they can find you online.
Well, I can be found at Facebook. Just type in S17770M. And you can also contact me via email at S17770M@gmail.com. We're always interested in hearing from various individuals that are interested in Tesla's work, and we're looking currently to get in touch with such people as Eric Dollard. We support the Thrive movement. We really are happy to be working with Team Cyril out of Cyril Aerospace, as well as the VBM team, Vortex-Based Mathematics, Mr. Randy Powell, Marco Roden, and Daniel Nunez and Erica Nunez. Other than that, we're definitely looking to work with other people in terms of building a really successful event, and we have some brilliant supporters, and we're looking forward to moving forward with everyone.
Isn't TeslaScienceFoundation.org your website?
Yes, TeslaScienceFoundation.org. It's not updated just yet. We're going to be posting new itinerary for our new event shortly.
All right, guys, I've got to cut in. I'm hearing that bumper music in the background, so we're going to have to take a quick break here for some blatantly commercial announcements, and we will be back in just a few moments. Alrighty, and we are back from our break. We're joined tonight by my co-host Sterling Allen, and we're discussing the Tesla Science Foundation, the work that they're doing with Sam Mason, and we have now been joined by Josh Toms, also of the Tesla Science Foundation. Well, gentlemen, as we headed off into break, I think we got kind of a little taste of what you guys did in January. We got just a little teaser about what you've got coming up. But, as we move into this segment, perhaps, and this is kind of a short segment, they're going to cut us off in about 6-7 minutes here. So we've got very little time, and I'd like to get as much of your message out there to the audience as I can. What can you tell us about this conference? Okay, I've got a few bucks in my pocket, and I might like to go to your conference coming up. Give me a little teaser. Why should I be interested in attending this thing? What are you going to have to show me?
Well, essentially, we're asking free energy inventors from all over the world to come forward and present in a free and open and accepting environment. We're going to have the entire Independence Mall prepared for basically this epic event that we're inviting people to come and literally show their devices in a free and accepting environment that will have press. We will have professionals there. We will have all forms of entertainment that cater to the arts as well. That we're really concentrated on really bringing these inventors that don't normally get the support or the attention that they deserve. We're going to basically be giving them the opportunity to be heard in a free and open environment. And that's pretty much what this is all about, pretty much building this awareness of these alternative energy methods, but yet at the same time really, paying a tribute to what matters about Nikola Tesla and how these people are doing their hardest to continue his work. And we're also going to be raising funds and awareness of our new Tesla Science Center that we're very happy to be working with. The Tesla Science Center at Wooding Cliff. Be on the lookout.
And Josh, we haven't heard from you. Maybe you'd like to slip in there and give us your take on what's this next conference going to be all about. Basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to torture people, tease them into just wanting to show up.
Yeah.
It's called the Million Volt March. It's a way to come together as a community and push our differences aside, because we've all been inspired by Nikola Tesla. We've been inspired by countless other names, John Searle, Marco Rodin. I mean, the names go on. And then there's the individuals that are in the garages that don't really talk to people. But if we can get the message out to all these individuals to collectively come together and put their differences aside and embrace each other and support each other, I think great things can happen here in America, because we're on the precipice of great things.
And Sterling, I'll pass the baton to you. You've probably got some questions you'd like to ask both these gentlemen before they, put the hook out and drag us off the stage.
Well, I'm curious on the last conference, if you could both just chime in on what the highlight was for you in the Memorial Conference this last January.
Well, I have to say the biggest highlight for me was the wireless transmission of energy. We had some number of large devices that were in attendance, and basically they were distributing all forms of, scalar waves in the immediate environment, and basically up to a few feet from these devices, from Tesla coils and such. It's pretty well known what the Tesla coils are capable of, but it's a wonderful thing to see. But I was really impressed mostly by Mr. Balcorn's presentation of her hard work with securing the Tesla Science Center and how that is, pretty much major pivotal point in history for the acceptance and validation or vindication of Nikola Tesla as a key figure in our electrical engineering history. I think that the Tesla Science Center is pretty much a milestone, a major milestone in that venue, and we're definitely doing our part to accentuate that. And it was just like her presentation was just so passionate. And then all of our other wonderful inventors that were there, such as the Nunez's from OneStopEnergies.com, they came out and they displayed their vortex coils based on the math of Randy Powell and Marco Rodin. they had some phenomenal presentations as well. And then there were also other presenters such as Professor Baldwin. He had brought out the neuroskies and talked about the importance of wireless brainwave transmissions of energies. I actually work with the device called the Emotive Epoch myself, so I also study the effects of brain and computer interfacing. It's they basically had a number of other wonderful presentations. I was very, very moved by Mr. Buck-Jeremich's speech during our opening of ceremonies. It was a very, very gratifying, and we definitely like to extend our warmest gratitude and thanks to him. Other than that, I'd have to say it was just an outright epic event that pretty much, if anyone really cares about, I guess, the future of our energy infrastructure, the Tesla Science Foundation conferences are the place to be.
Josh?
Yes.
What were your highlights from the last conference?
Coming down to less than a minute.
He's from Colorado.
But my artwork was there.
Yes, it was. We actually had some of Mr. Tom's work on display during the vortex-based mathematics presentation at their booth and such. It really accentuated the effects that we were witnessing and stuff. It's been really awesome. I know Mr. Tom's specialty, I believe, is Ed Leeds Spellman. Is that correct?
Yes.
Quick question. We are about ready to go to break. Maybe you can get this out real quick in the bumper music here. Were any videos shot of the conference? Could any interested parties go to a YouTube channel or maybe buy a DVD of the content of the conference?
Actually, yes. All of the videos are available online. We're actually going to be having the direct link posted to our site shortly. Most of them can be found via YouTube by typing in the conference name, the Tesla Memorial Conference. The Tesla
Sorry, got to cut you off. We are going to break. I tried to get as much of it in there as I could, but we got to do those commercials, or the show doesn't have its support. Thank you. We're gonna be right back. Well, and that was a short break. Now, to be honest with you, folks, I was afraid I was going to lose Sam after the second break, but he has agreed to hang with us just a little bit longer. And I believe we do have a little bit more of a message to get out here for these fellows. But Sterling, I'd kind of like to pass the baton to you. I don't want to monopolize these two fellows, so but consider the baton passed. What would you like to address to these fellows?
Yeah, you've given us an overview of the conference and also the upcoming conference, tickled us with interest from those. Could you give us an idea, give us an update on this Tesla Memorial Museum that's going to be built? What's the prognosis for that? When is it going to happen? Give us an update.
Well, essentially the museum, pretty much that's the everyday concern for the foundation as well as the Tesla Science Center itself. There are a few more particulars to take care of, but ultimately the renovations are what's really important. Currently, people can't enter the building. There's all kinds of mold and things like that, and ultimately we need to build support up so that it can, of course, be safe to enter for guests as well as for crews that, of course, need to work on it. I'm not sure whether or not there is a plan for expansion in terms of making the land more accessible to tourism and such, but we definitely want to ask that all who intend to visit the site show extreme respect for the neighborhood of Shoreham. They're a very quiet community and such, and we definitely want to show our respect and such. So definitely, I ask all people that intend to visit the tower to be on their best behavior, if they will.
My understanding is that they had some problems with the ground there, that there was some pollution and whatnot that needed to be taken care of. Could you address that? Do you know what's going on with that?
Yes, there was a bit of ground contamination. I believe it was, I don't want to say. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yep. You bonged on us there for a moment, but you're back.
Hello? Okay.
We can still hear you.
Yes, the ground, there was some pollution, and we've been told that that's been taken care of and stuff, so that won't be an issue once we're ready to open the doors and such. It's just really, really important that that the grounds as well as the building itself are safe, because there's all kinds of like dangling lights as well, but the ground pollution, that was certainly something that was holding up the entire process initially. Due to that, it was pretty much a much more larger hurdle from Ms. Jane Alcorn to actually go ahead and get that project approved for our science center. Currently, we have yes, I found the website that has all the videos. I'm going to post that to you guys now. Let's see here. What is... Okay. Hey, better yet, Josh, I'm going to send this over to you, and can you just put that into their Skype? Yes, that's the link coming up to you guys for the... oh, wow. You guys got that link?
Haven't got it yet. I assume Josh is still moving it from one place to the other. We'll get it out there into the chat. But
this million-man march that you're talking about,
million-volt march.
A billion, yeah.
I love it. Million-volt march. Instead of a million-man march, we're going to have a million volts. All right.
Is this going to be part of the July conference, and what's that going to entail?
Well, basically, we're going to begin the Million Volt March at Independence Mall during the signing of the Declaration of Energy Independence, and essentially, we'd like it to go all the way to Washington. We want everyone in the entire immediate area and all those that are around the world that are able to attend and come and physically show their physical support for these these three alternative energy inventors, but yet also the works of Nikola Tesla and his legacy in terms of making us a more sustainable society.
This is an artistic homage.
Oh, no, that's it.
New York City Mayor LaGuardia.
So when you talk about making it to Washington, D.C., are you talking about walking, marching, or a petition on the White House website?
We're pretty much going to go all out with this. We're going to have a petition on the White House website. We're going to have a physical march, if you will, actually during at Independence Mall, and we'd like to take it to the National Mall, provided the momentum. And so basically it's just important to get the message out there that basically this is our time to stand together for this cause, and this is our chance to really impact public policy in terms of supporting these technologies.
Do you have anyone lined up to bring working devices to the July conference?
Well, currently we're trying to, we'd like to see Mr. Eric Dollard attend, and we'd like to, I've actually been in contact with Mr. Joseph Newman recently. I heard he's getting some really, really awesome progress with Big Eureka. We're also looking to speak with Mr. Bedini, and we're currently working out the terms with Professor Cyril's organization as well. And then also the vortex-based mathematics coils will be there, and we're going to have a number of extremely large Tesla coils and such. But also the Tesla's we're going to have the theremin there. Actually, Mr. Mano Divina, he will be actually playing. We're going to be having we're going to have an extensive program actually posted on our site shortly for all those listening in, and I hope you guys are able to get those videos on the.
There's a possibility through collaborated work. It's no set in stone, but possibly John Depew. Yes,
John Depew. We're definitely looking to expand with him. Oh, and also Mr. Robert Leighton Cook as well. I believe he's working on his reactionless drive, his inertial propulsion. Essentially, we're really interested in all forms of wireless energy transmission, but then also we're interested in electrogravitics as well in terms of supporting, I guess, the fact that we can't really give the world free energy without giving it anti-gravity, and we can't give the world anti-gravity without giving it free energy. So.
Well, I would love to see you guys get Eric Dollard out of his desert rat hole.
We've been successful with getting in contact with some of those people. We're having a bit of trouble tracking them down. Any help in that would be great.
Well, I can give you a general delivery address in California that will reach him via snail mail, but other than that, he's kind of living like a hermit these days.
Yeah, well, that's it's pretty much a side effect from, I guess, society's unwillingness to be as accepting as it could be. But we're ultimately looking to change that, and we intend to pretty much be at the forefront of that effort. So we're definitely asking that everyone come out and support the Million Volt March to actually end that kind of isolationism that society imposes on people that are really amazing free thinkers that just need an opportunity to really present their material to an accepting public.
We need to take the torch and just spread it, the information, get these people out of the woodwork, and at least give them the message and a list of names of all the people we've invited, so that if everyone takes this opportunity as a collective movement, we could actually have this happen if people remove their doubt and their own personal bias.
For the audience who's not familiar with Eric Dollard, maybe you can give us a quick synopsis of what his work is about.
Essentially, Eric Dollard's work is the continuation of Nikola Tesla's work. He's, I know that his work with Wade is phenomenal. Eric, hello?
Yeah.
We still got you. Haven't lost you yet. Your audio is getting through, Sam.
Well, Eric, hello?
Well, apparently we can hear Sam, but Sam cannot hear us.
Apparently. Josh, maybe you can fill in.
Eric Dollard, he's researched Tesla, right? I'm not really familiar with his work.
Yeah, one of the, I'm hearing the bumper music come up, guys. So it came at an opportune time, because I think I'm going to have to reconnect with Sam. We may have gotten a stale connection with him, but folks, please do stay with us until after these commercial messages. I'll try to get Sam back in here, and we'll finish up this segment with him. Just be a moment. All right, thank you so much for being patient with us during that break, and while we had the momentary interruption, I did take the opportunity to refresh our connection. So hopefully now I do have Sam, Sterling, and Josh all together with us in conference. And at this point, I am once again going to pass the baton on to Sterling. Sterling Allen, it's all yours. Take it away, man.
All righty. Yeah, we've been talking about the conferences and the technologies, and we just started asking about who is Eric Dollard when you had problems with your phone connection. Maybe you can jump in there and tell us who's Eric Dollard and why would we want to go see or hear a presentation from him.
Actually, Eric Dollard, if Tesla were alive today, he would certainly enjoy the work of Eric Dollard. If not, it's the exact same in terms of his tenacity for his drive to really emulate and really accurately reproduce Nikola Tesla's longitudinal transmission of free energy. Radiant energy. And essentially, Eric Dollard's work is the premier study that's going on in America today to fully replicate all of Tesla's work with wireless transmission of energy. And pretty much he is, if you will, Tesla if he were alive today.
Now, I think Dollard would claim that he has surpassed Tesla, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. But
Oh yes.
Yeah, I should tell you, I had an interview with Eric Dollard some time ago, about 4 months ago, and it was one of the worst experiences of my interviewing life. I never published it because it was so bad. He's so bitter. Man, he just railed on it, people, and it was awful.
Well, yeah, many people have very difficult experiences over, I guess, this long period of time where their work has been pretty much marginalized and they've been ostracized for their efforts. So, I mean, I know that Professor Cyril, he's actually become a lot more friendly in terms of, I guess, the long-standing issues he's had with the public as well.
Oh,
so
Cyril's a sweetheart.
Yeah, he's a wonderful man. I'm actually happy to be a part of Team Cyril myself. But I understand in terms of the aggravation that you can only begin to imagine for such a prolonged period of time of pretty much being ostracized by society.
And that's exactly why we're doing that movement, is to try and show people the sacrifices that have been. And it's not just about a bunch of dead people, because they were a great inspiration, but there are people alive today that could come together and make a real stand.
Eric Dollard actually has a fundraising campaign going on, I think, at Indiegogo right now, and they're making pretty good progress toward reaching his goal, and I would imagine he was in on that.
Well, I think he surpassed that Indiegogo goal, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we actually do support his, we do fully support anything that Eric Dollard is a part of, and we're definitely looking to work with him with what we're currently putting together for our July conference. Yeah, currently, like I said, getting in contact with him has been a bit difficult, but we're definitely working on that, and we thank you for your help, sir.
Oh, yeah. In fact, let me mention, if you go to Tesla Round 2, the mission of Eric Dollard, they've raised $26,000 of their $20,000 goal, and they have 15 days to go, so they've surpassed their goal.
And I do have confirmation. I have a letter from Eric Dollard. Obviously, whenever one of these fundraisers comes down the pike, my first impression is, oh my God, they've picked a high-profile name out of a hat, and they've done a Nigerian mail scam thing, claiming to be on behalf of this person of notoriety, and it's really just somebody trying to scam people. But I do have confirmation from Dollard in writing that yes, it is being done on his behalf, and that he does benefit from the proceeds of that fundraiser. So that gave me some reassurance. Cool. I was pleased to find that out.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, you definitely can't be too careful online these days. But it's definitely great to see funds going to the right place. Yeah, Eric Dollard certainly deserves it.
Well, we've got about, I don't know, a little less than 10 minutes before they drag us out of here kicking and screaming, and we haven't gotten to hear a whole lot from Josh, and I don't want to leave him out in the cold. Josh, you were kind enough to come in here and spend some time, but we haven't really heard much in the way of feedback from you. What do you think the Tesla Science Foundation's attributes are? What do you think the foundation has to offer folks? What do you think folks can gain by attending these shows? And perhaps you'd like to make a pitch to the hobbyist types to try to get them involved. Obviously, we're trying to reach the audience with a good solid message as why they should get involved with the foundation and why they should participate.
Well, it for one gives us back the critical view or critical analysis of science again, instead of having just a dogmatic view of everything. So we can have open mind and open communication with other individuals with the same passion as Tesla. My connection with the Tesla Science Foundation has recently come together because of the Million Volt March. It was a meme that I had begun because of my connections throughout the community of the free energy, alternative research, whatever you want to call it. And Sam Mason has been helping me get this going, and he presented it to the foundation, and it's been rolling steam ever since. My major focus has been the work of Edward Leeds-Gowland. I know there's a lot of opinions about that situation, but as things are developing and as I've been in contact with some of these really great minds that are recluses, they have some amazing experiments, very simple things that a lot of people have no idea about. And John Depew is one of them, and his work is very underlooked, just like many of these people. And we just it's an idea to try and get everybody to come together and acknowledge that we all are doing the same thing. And, you know, we all have our opinions and so forth, but science is not progressing the way we should have it be progressing for all the amazing things we've discovered.
One of the things I'd like to ask both of you before we end here, as you have been involved in this sector, pursuing the technologies, talking to inventors, what do you see on the horizon in terms of a device that people can actually go and buy to put in their house, to power the house, power their appliances, their cars? What do you see as being the first thing that is likely to make it, and when?
And please address the issue of my flying car and robot slave. I've been waiting 20 years, but you know that is an interesting question. Do you guys see anything on the near horizon that might meet it?
Well, your robot slaves and such. Of course, computers are getting smarter every 2 years. You know, Moore's law. Every 2 years, computers become twice as smart. You know, that's only a matter of time. I mean, you know, we're seeing exoskeletons and all kinds of major robotic advances, bionic eyes and such. But in terms of the flying car, I think ultimately what's you know, that was kind of like a fad a few years ago. You know, it was all over the news. But in reality, no one really is buying into the aspects of the flying car, because they're really beginning to see that anti-gravity, or as more so built around a social construct as opposed to a scientific term, but more so the will of the collective will of humanity to defy gravity as a whole, and actually, you know, achieve building these machines that can obtain warp speed and all these other various speeds that were previously believed to be impossible. Most of these devices are operating off of electromagnetic principles. So ultimately, I don't think that the world will have to go through the drudgeries of rebuilding our aviation infrastructure around the flying car, when we're going to basically have vehicles that defy gravity, or inverse gravity vehicles, as said by Cyril Aerospace. So it's pretty much a horse race, if you will, to see whoever is actually going to be getting in the air first. But ultimately, with these energy devices, there are so many people out there that are like right on the heels of creating a truly mass-produced friendly device. I mean, particularly with 3D printers coming on the stage now, we're seeing the ability to really pump out these machines the moment they're ready to go. But you know, currently there are places such as OneStopEnergies.com that are, you know, selling these modified Rodden coils or vortex coils, you know, that are actually hooking into regular devices. In fact, while they were at the Tesla Science Commemorative Conference, they actually had the computers and all their devices first running through one of these coils that were running directly into the wall. So ultimately, the ability to just start the whole transformation process is there. And then I remember for the Global Breakthrough Energy Movement, who we were very happy to be working with Mr. Fernando Bosa with that, where he's actually participating in our upcoming conference this July. Ultimately, we've seen so many beautiful devices. We're very interested in the device that Mr. Sterling Allen had interviewed for, Mr. Dempsey, I believe his name was. That phenomenal.
About a minute, guys. We got to start thinking about wrapping it up. We need a catchy punchline for this. Sam, give us the catchy punchline that are going to get people to go to your website. You should mention it, by the way, and buy a ticket to your next conference.
All right.
Boy, the pressure's on.
We want you to come out and support the ending of energy servitude. That's pretty much what this is about, getting involved and making the world see that you don't have to be a slave to your energy company. You can actually have these devices in your home. And then this is also available at all forms of the economic spectrum. Like, get out there and understand that this technology is real and that it can be right in your living room. You don't have to wait.
Man, you made it. Boy, you know, I put the man under pressure to come up with a punchline. That's TeslaScienceFoundation.org. Check them out. see what they have to offer. I'm going to put some more pressure on them to get that website updated where they've got links to those videos. To my audience, thank you so much for watching tonight's presentation. Stay tuned for Charlie McGrath. He'll be along in just a moment. Thanks again.